Hey. So you probably can hear my car, so I might move away from it a little bit. I've chosen a random street to drive down and decompress by the water while my girls sleep in the car. Who else does that? Finds a beautiful place to enjoy nap time. I love it, especially when I've just been in a shopping centre, which I find incredibly overstimulating and very often anxiety inducing, depending on the day. And today I found heaps of spaciousness with the wanting that I was experiencing with my 3-year-old around Christmas and all the things. I don't know if your kids are doing that yet, going through the catalogues and wanting all the things for Christmas on their wish list. And I think it can feel overwhelming for us for many different reasons, based on many different stories that we might have around our own Christmas growing up, maybe our family story about gifts and receiving, and also the stuff that we have around giving and what giving means. And one of the things that kept coming up with my daughter was really just Christmas and Santa and look at all the colours, and I really felt into experiencing the joy with her without having to be pulled along the story of what it means to want and have the next thing and the next thing and unwrap the next thing because the thing that you've got's not exciting anymore because you want something else, and really feeling into that space of finding the joy for new experiences and I suppose the excitement, but at the same time finding a nice relationship between both the receiving aspect of Christmas and the giving aspect. And I think one of the things that certainly helped me regulate myself as I helped my child was knowing that we've got our Kids Kindness Advent coming up, which is going to be a beautiful way for us to, as a collective, really help ground our children in a more wider focus this Christmas. So an opportunity for them to look beyond their wanting and beyond their wish list. And while children, particularly young children, are incredibly oriented towards the self, and that's actually healthy developmentally, to really stretch their capacity to see another's experience and to see what Christmas is like for other children, and to see what Christmas is like for people less fortunate, and how for us it's a happy time, but for other people it might not be so happy, and what can we do with our fortunate circumstances to have a roof over our heads, to be well fed, to be cared for and loved by lots of people. What can we do with our fortunate circumstances to give some love to those who are less fortunate, and to think carefully about how we spend our money and how we can inject money into our community by shopping local, and thinking about the heart and the work and the intention that's gone into creating something that's really meaningful for our kids, as opposed to thinking that it's come from a factory or something that's more faceless. To really allow it to be a beautiful circle of both receiving for our kids, because that's what their focus is all about, but also really giving and widening their spectrum, which I think is such a beautiful opportunity. And I think it also really, for us as parents, at a time of the year which can feel incredibly taxing and under a lot of pressure, both in terms of the demands on us to show up for our kids for Christmas in every which way, but also for us to battle our own triggers around family over Christmas, to really inject a more of a giving spirit and a more of a broader look at how we can give back at Christmas. It gives us so much more richness to experience too. It's not just about what we instill in them, it's also about what we remind ourselves about our shared humanity, and about how we can really give meaningful Christmas experiences to others, and to really widen our experience of community and connecting with that community, and giving some thought to how our community functions and how we can appreciate those who help it function. So we're going to be featuring in our collective, in our Kids Kindness Advent Collective, we're going to be featuring interviews with people who help the community function, with charities who really do some great things in the community. We're going to be interviewing local makers. We're going to have some activities for us all to do as families together, that we can really create almost like a tradition with our kids. And we've really stepped it out week by week for the 4 weeks of Advent. So we kick off on Sunday the 24th, which is not far away. It's about just under a week away. And we want to start it a week in advance so that you've all got a chance to get out the calendar to figure out what calls you, so what activities really feel good for you and your family and what you might want to create as a tradition. And then, sit down with your kids and give them some options to get excited about, and for them to get their excitement, raise their excitement beyond what they're going to get on their wish list, and really just invigorate some excitement in them around the spirit of Christmas and the spirit of our shared humanity and the spirit of thinking about others and how we can contribute to others and make their lives more rich. I think it's really, really powerful for our kids to see their capacity to make someone else's day brighter and to have an impact, and this is a really beautiful way to do it that gives back. And so I'm going to drop the link, but I really invite you to think about joining us if you haven't yet, because I know that certainly my shopping centre experience was that much more empowered today when I thought about, my daughter's really excited about presents right now, but I know what's coming for her, and I know that there's a real solid grounding that's going to happen in the lead up to Christmas that's going to give her a really rich, broad experience of this time of year, and not one that's consumption filled and not one that's all about what she can get. It's also going to be one that's filled with opportunities for her to think about, and my son to think about what they can give, which I think is a beautiful gift to give our kids. So I'm going to put the link below, and I hope you have a gorgeous day. I'm going to enjoy a bit more of this amazing view before I hop back in the car and drive these two sleepy little girls home. See ya.